Okay, welcome back to the Dublin Academy of Maths. Today it's statistics and it's series 11, so it's a new series and it's episode 1, paper 2, question 6. Now I have a mantra here that is you do all the questions, you do questions, and I usually put the questions on the left hand side at the end. Practice is through questions. Maths is not a novel, that's another one. You can't read it, okay? You must do questions to improve your brain patterns, okay? Now today we're doing the mean, okay, the mean of a number. Alright, so the mean of a number is you usually add the numbers. So if you have all these array of numbers, now this is this formula I'm using here because there's no multiple frequencies, okay? So the mean of that would be 4 plus 7 plus 8 plus 10 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that would be the nearest decimal place, I think. So 18, 50, 25, 29 over 4. So that's 7.25. Okay, so the nearest whole number, the average will be 7. Okay, but it's 7.25 is fine enough. Okay, you don't always have to have whole numbers. Now, what happens if, for example, I go along again and I see this array of numbers, but this time there's going to be 4, 4, and then it's 8, and then it's 10. Okay, for example. Well, then I have to do it a different way. Okay, so now I have a frequency. Okay, I can draw a table out and I can put the number how many times it come up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably show you how this table would work. Okay, so before we calculate the mean, right? So you would find so you'd have an array of numbers, say for any example. I don't know what example is going to be given here, but you have these numbers here, and it says, say for example, I don't know, the average age of a person that goes to Disney World, okay? Disney ages, okay? And you got 4, 7, 8, and then 10, okay? So, and the frequency, which is the number of people, so the frequency would be the number of children. Oh, okay, I'm gonna ignore that. So you got 4, and you got 4, and you got 4, and you got 3, so the frequency is 3. Okay, and you got 7, and you don't have any more than 7, so that's 1. And you got 8, you got 1, 2, you got 8. And then you got 10, 1, 2 for 10. Okay? And, right, so how do I calculate the frequency? Well, in this case, I'm going to use this, or the mean. How am I going to calculate the mean? In this, I'm going to use this formula. Okay, so what I'm doing is the sum of f by x. So this is f. And this is x, okay? So these are your values. So you would go along and it becomes, so sum of f of x is equal to, sum of it, we'll put it down here. So we got 4 by 3 plus 7 by 1 plus 8 by 2 plus 10 by 2. All over 2, 4, 5, 8. Okay, all over 8, and that's how you calculate your frequency or your mean. Okay, so the mean, few it's usually called now. So I multiply them out. 4 by 3 is 12. 12 plus 7 is 12 plus 7 plus 2 8s are 16 plus 20 all over 8, and you add them all up. 12 and 7 is 19. Oh, I'm not going to go through this for 36 and 19, I get out my calculator. I always have my calculator with me, so I've got 36 plus 12 and 7 is 19 equals 55 over 8 divided by 8, and the mean is 6.8. Okay, I hope you can see that, 6.875. Okay, so that's the mean. So now that's how you calculate the mean. Okay, and using the two types of formulas. Now they're not going to be quite as easy as that. They usually give you huge numbers so that you can use the calculator, really, you know, show you how to use the calculator. And we've got a question here on 2007, and it reads like this. It reads, one of the items of information gathered in a census is the size of every household. Okay, so this is 2011. And it's a sample paper. Okay. Actually, it's not. It's the actual paper, and it says one of the items. is size of every house. The size of the household is the number of people living in it. Okay, so this is a graph here. You've given these people, the number of people across the top and the year on the left hand side. Okay. The following table shows the number of permanent private households of each size in Ireland according to the census held in various years from 26 to 2006. For the purpose of this question, you should ignore the fact there are also other types of households in Ireland. Okay, so you have other types, yeah, but these are, I don't know. Anyway, so these are, this is your graph. Okay, so you just have to, so it says, first of all, let's go through, use the information in the table. In 1966, how many households had exactly 8 people living in them? Wow, that's so easy. So you just go 1966 and exactly 7. Okay, so there's exactly 7. Greater than 7 would be all those increased. Do you understand? You'd add up all of them. Okay. In 1986, how many people lived in households of exactly? In 1986, how many people lived in households of exactly 7 people? So you would have to, in 1986, so you've got 44,139 households multiplied by 7, and that will give you the number of people. Okay, now I hope you can get that. Calculate correct the one decimal place an estimate of the mean number of people per household. Okay, in 2006, here's 2006 here, and that line there represents from 1 person to greater than 10 people. So you got 1 by 326. Do you understand? So the sum of the function f(x), or the sum of f, is equal to 1 by 326,134 plus, I got 2 people by 413,786, and then plus 3 people by 264. So you can see how big these numbers are. Okay, so you have to be using the calculator very carefully. Okay, and you just go along. Okay, I go along, and it actually gives you the sizes here. Okay, so it gives you a total of the frequency here at the bottom, and it's 1,462,296. Okay, so you add up all these, and then at the end you get a number, and then you divide, and the only thing you can make as a mistake is through error of use of calculator or dropping numbers. So that's why you have to be nice and relaxed, take big deep breaths and do this question. So the average number of people is 2.8 people. Okay, used to be, when my day used to be 2.2. That was in the I'm giving away my name, 90s, 80s, 90s. Okay, we used to call them 2.2s. Okay, families 2.2. I had a neighbours beside me, and we used to have great fun with them. They were so normal that I used to call them 2.2s. Anyway, that's a different story. And it's not really that, well, it is kind of. Anyway, we're looking at these questions, and it says find the mean of each of these array of numbers. Okay, so you add up 6, 0, minus 5 plus 4, and you divide by the number of terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. Okay, now we got an x here. How many terms you got? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms, and you got, so that's 5. So you got 5 terms, and then you just add an x plus 3, x plus 2. So you go. And then eventually you get an x plus a number. Okay, so this looks as though it's going to cancel actually. You got plus 1, minus 1, plus 3, plus minus 3. So they're going to cancel. So you're going to be left with x's. Okay, I imagine. I don't see why not. Anyway, so you divide by the number of terms and you get a value. Okay, it just gets used to using x's. Number of goals scored. So this is the number of goals in, there was 14 games and we scored 1 goal. So say you're part of a team. Say you're a part of a team like Liverpool, so number of games 16 goals, 2 to 2, and number of games is 8. We had 8 games and we scored 3 goals. Okay, so that would be this is 2014. So this would be LFC would be the mainstream champions there, you know, this year. Okay, anyway, do those questions. You know what happens. Practice. I have a mantra here. Practice, practice, practice. Through questions, questions, questions leads to good results. Leads to very good results. Okay. Maths is not a novel. Oh, I read that. Oh, I think I understand what Michael's going on about. Oh yeah, I have an idea. I know, I'm sorted. No, you're not sorted. Get down and do a question and prove to yourself that you're sorted. Maths is not a novel. Only people like me can read maths. Huh. Anyway, Champion, do those questions. God bless.